Good morning. Today is the 16th of February 2023. Um, I'm revisiting a topic I just covered a couple of days ago, different episode for me, and a different episode that I'm going to be discussing my 600-pound life. I'm not sure if I gave the caveat before, but one of the reasons I enjoy the show isn't for it's watching how other people with disabilities deal with their disabilities. Obviously, it's a subject that is pretty close to me because I'm doing the same. For me, what it comes down to um, is there, but for the grace of God, go I, in a sense. When I look at these people on the show who are featured on the show, I see the direction I was heading and at the same time the direction I was already in. What I mean by that is I was like, they are obviously disabled. I'm disabled. They have weight issues. I had weight issues. The weight issues were affecting my mobility, my lifestyle, and therefore lifestyle choices and ability of what can be done, what is possible to do. That's my caveat. So I don't watch them and go to a snicker or to belittle. That's not where I'm coming from. I'm coming from, wow, these people. The other side of it too is there's a touch, and I'm not a jealous person. There's a touch of jealousy when I see someone carrying that much weight, but if they can do it, and some do, without without needing a walker or a cane to get by. Most of them need helpers, but some of them don't need the assistance of a conveyance to get around. Me, I do. And so there's a touch of jealousy, although I'm not a jealous person, but I'm just an amazed person watching some of these people go and wow, that they can do it and I couldn't. That kind of thing. The episode I'm interested in talking about today is, oh, sorry. Before I get into the episode, the other thing which I enjoy about it, being that it's reality television, it's a very formula. The show has a specific formula. It's always the same. The only difference is, of course, the people who are featured. But it's always, this is their life now. This is their meeting with the doctor. This is the challenges that they have to get or not get the surgery that might help them um, lose the weight. So basically it's a simple formula. You can always watch it, or you can follow it without a lot of notes. That said, the what makes it interesting is the people who participate. For me, it's always an interest to watch, and after you get a bit of their personalities, will they or won't they? Can they? Will they meet the challenge of the weight loss? You need to lose weight before you get the surgery if you qualify for the surgery, and it's an interesting concept because there are some people who walk in there going, it's the only thing that'll save my life. And there's other people who walk in there saying it's a tool that should save my life, but let's play it out. That kind of thing. So for me, it's always fascinating to watch people and go, oh, these guys aren't going to make it or, qualify. Or these people are going to qualify. And that has a lot to do with their personalities. Enough said. So it's a bit of a whodunit to a degree, like will they, won't they? But it's also an interesting show to watch those that do, how happy they are that they've met the challenge. It's interesting to me because they met the challenge for themselves, and then they're going to get the benefits of the help that will change their lives as they see it. The show that I want to talk about today is Paul. I think season 10. I'm not too sure when. what number of the episode, but it's Paul from Florida. And he really surprised me because originally I didn't think he was going to make it to get the qualify for the surgery. Now, what was interesting to me is um, I think it was his affect that threw me off. He seemed very controlled. His emotional control. He seemed very one note. Um, but he also had this. Unfortunately, he had this addiction to food, and from the befores, the meeting with Doctor Now, he did not strike me as a type that had the willpower to do it. There's one scene in particular which really I felt so sorry for him because he was having a breakfast on. He's from Florida. He had to travel to Houston. It's a 5 day for him because of the weight and all that kind of stuff. But it was a long journey for him, and so unfortunately and he was looking at certain amount of time in the car, which would be which would be very strenuous and painful and not very well done, sitting in a car. But he would reward himself with fast food along the way. And even when the one scene in particular, he's at a diner, and his helpers, his driver, and he had I think it was his mother or someone else was with him, and they were trying to encourage him eat because we have this appointment to make, and he seemed to me to be nonchalant, but that's his affect. He seemed nonchalant. I'm hungry. I'm going to eat. They were saying maybe you should take it with you, eat in the car. No, I'm eating now. Okay, like, and the look on their faces were, will he, won't he? But they seem to be leaning into, I'm not sure. It seemed to me that they were thinking that they were more interested in getting the surgery than he was. And to tell the truth, that I kind of saw that. So I was, of course, thinking he's not going to be able to make it. And then he does the meeting and all of that. He's going through the procedure. And now he has to prove himself by he's given certain weight loss goals that he's got to meet. And you can't really tell when you're that large. He was a big guy. He was like over 700. I want to say over 750. He was right up there. He was a very tall guy. He was like 6'6" or something like that. So he wore it without being voluminous. You know what I mean? He certainly was a bigger person, but he could walk and maneuver without the use of a cane. That one really, really, wow. You go, Paul. Anyways, so when they were doing his, I think it was a 2 month break between the assessment and they're still following him around his apartment, how he's living his life and all that kind of stuff. But I couldn't anyways tell that he was actually losing weight per se, because he was very tall and he also wore, by the way, he wore his weight very uniformly. I would say it wasn't a huge gut per se. He wore it like he was as big all over as he was. It was just basically your body, just plus size, but it wasn't all in the belly, for instance, that kind of thing. Anyways, sure enough, he did lose in the first challenge was the first couple of months, and he did lose, not what he was supposed to, but close. But then he was given, okay, if you can do this, keep going where you're going, and let's see you in 2 months. And he made it. And like I said, his affect was a bit flat, but he was so happy that he qualified. And I was so happy for him. And I was more than happy to tell myself, you read him wrong. Because you never can tell. Like some people, they actually have it in them, but they don't follow through. Or they blame others for their situations and they won't follow through. And then there's others that will push on through. And for me, obviously, it puts a smile on my face because I see a little bit of me in him in that, yeah, you know what? When he needed to sit down and have that meal because in the cafe before they took off, he needed that. That was what he needed to do to steel himself up, I'm guessing, to go through the process and all that. And yeah, it looked like he was not backtracking, but not taking it as serious as he could have by appearance. But he was right because that's all he needed. He needed this time to enjoy his meal, and now he can suffer to get to where he's going. Anyways, it was an interesting show, like I said, because it proved me wrong, but I like to be proven wrong in situations like this. Anyways, a bit of a longer one. Sorry about that. I will talk to you guys later. That's what's going on behind the patch, by the way. I will talk to you guys later. Have a good day.